We call the Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting for Tuesday, December the 19th, 2023 to order. The first order of business is opening prayer by Pastor Johnny Bird of Legacy Church. I'd ask that you would stand for the prayer, remain standing for the pledge afterwards.
Lord Jesus, thank you for the opportunity to gather in this space and make decisions for the greatest community in all of America to live in. God, I thank you for the men and women who spend tireless hours and all their energy serving this community and doing so for its betterment. Lord, I pray you give us grace tonight as we make decisions and discuss issues, that God, we might know your will, your way, and that God, we would do for our city and our citizens all that you have intended. And Lord, may we serve them well as you have so greatly served us. Lord, in this season, may we never forget the gift you gave us. Yes. And God, may we continue in giving good gifts in your likeness. God, give us great grace and favor tonight to make decisions based on what you would have us do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, will you read the future meetings into the record, please?
Beer Board, January 2nd at 6 p.m. Planning Commission, January 2nd at 6:30 p.m. Bartlett Station Commission, January 3rd at 7:30 a.m. City Beautiful Commission, January 4th at 6:30 p.m. Industrial Development Board, January 4th at 7 p.m. Family Assistance Commission, January 8th at 6 p.m. And there will be a public hearing for managed services for the Bartlett Library and Bartlett Recreation Center on January 9th at 6 p.m.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, as a normal custom, we recognize any scouts that may be in the audience, and I do not see any scouts. If you are, you're well hid. So, seeing no scouts at this time, we'll move to the official business of the day. The first item is the approval of the minutes. Madam Clerk, will you read item number 1 on approval of minutes in the record?
Minutes of the December 12th, 2023 Board of Mayor and Aldermen regular meeting.
If the chair hearing no omissions, corrections, or errors, entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Been properly motioned by Alderman Reeves and seconded by Vice Mayor Jack Young. Is there any discussion on item number 1? Chair sees no one wishing to be recognized, so please, Madam Clerk, will you put the record on the screen, please? And the minutes from December the 12th, 2023 passes unanimously. Now we move to unfinished business. And Madam Clerk, will you read item 1 under unfinished business in the record, please?
Second reading of Ordinance 23-08, an ordinance to amend the City of Bartlett zoning ordinance by amending Article 1, Section 2 definitions to add smoke shop and tobacco store, and to amend Article 5, Chart 1 uses permitted, and to add smoke shops and tobacco stores in certain zoning districts with the special use permit.
If needed, we have Ms. Kim Taylor, Director of Planning and Economic Development. If any Alderman has a question, just please, if a motion is made, please set the public hearing for January the 9th, 2024.
Move we approve and set the public hearing for the 9th of January.
Second.
Been properly motioned by Alderman Reeves and seconded by Vice Mayor Jack Young. So it's your time. This time, Madam Clerk, will you put the record on the screen, please? So, second reading of ordinance 23-08 passes unanimous. Madam Clerk, will you read item number 2 under unfinished business?
Second reading of Ordinance 23-09, an ordinance to amend the City of Bartlett zoning ordinance by amending Article 1, Section 2 definitions to add hookah lounge and other smoking lounges, and to amend Article 5, Chart 1 uses permitted to add hookah lounges and other smoking lounges in the CH Highway Business Zoning District with the special use permit.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Again, I have Ms. Kim Taylor, Director of Planning and Economic Development, if needed. If not, Chair would entertain a motion to approve.
Move we approve.
Second.
Been properly motioned by Vice Mayor Young, and I'm sorry, who was that, you, David? Or was it Ray
Second.
King? Okay, I'm sorry. Alderman King. Is there any discussion? Seeing no one wish to be recognized for discussion, Madam Clerk, will you present the roll on the screen for us? Ordinance 23-09 passes unanimous. Now, Madam Clerk, will you please read item number 3?
Second reading of ordinance 23-10, an ordinance to amend the City of Bartlett zoning ordinance by amending Article 5, Section 2, definitions to add small box retail stores, liquidation stores, and liquidation warehouse sellers, and to amend Article 5, Chart 1, uses permitted, and to add small box retail stores, liquidation retail stores, and liquidation warehouse sellers in certain zoning districts with a special use permit, and to add to Article 6, supplementary district regulations, Section 31, small box retail stores.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ms. Taylor's available if needed. If not, the desire of the board is?
Move.
Make a motion to approve with this public hearing set on January 9th.
Second.
Been properly motioned by Alderman Quinn and seconded by Vice Mayor Jack Young. Is there any discussion? If not, please go to your device, cast your vote for the record, please. Second reading of ordinance 23-10 passes unanimous. Madam Clerk, will you read item number 4 in the record?
Second reading of ordinance -23-11, an ordinance amending Title II, Chapter 6, Section 2-601, membership of the codified ordinances of the City of Bartlett, Tennessee, to be consistent with state law by permitting a person designated by the mayor to serve on the Planning Commission in lieu of the mayor.
What's the will of the board? Been properly motioned
Second.
and seconded. Motion by Alderman Reeves, seconded by Alderman Griffith. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, please go to your device, cast your vote for the record, please. Okay, second reading of ordinance 23-11 passes unanimous. Madam Clerk, will you read item number 5 in the record, please?
Second reading of ordinance 23-12, an ordinance to amend Title II, Chapter 5, Section 501, City Beautiful Commission of the City of Bartlett Code of Ordinances, to stagger the terms of members serving on the City Beautiful Commission.
Any questions, comments? Or
Move we approve and set the public hearing for January 9th.
Properly motioned by Vice Mayor Young, seconded by Alderman David Reeves. Any discussion on item number 5? Was it, okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
I don't have to correct it in meetings next time.
The chair stands corrected. That was seconded by Alderman Robert Griffin. So there was no discussion, so please cast your vote, please, on item number 5. Second reading of ordinance 23-12 passes unanimous. We now move to the consent agenda. There's 3 items on the consent agenda. Any board member may remove any one single item for a separate discussion or vote if they wish. Does any member wish to remove any items? Seeing no one wishing to remove any items, Madam Clerk, will you read the consent agenda to the record, please?
Item 1, proposal for actuarial consulting services. Item 2, residential subdivision contract, Union Depot, Phase 2B, modified from minimum bond. Item 3, December 2023 Planning Commission report.
Okay. Chair would entertain a motion to approve.
Move we approve.
Second that.
Been properly motioned by Vice Mayor Jack Young and seconded by Ms. Monique Williams. Alderwoman Monique Williams. Take time, slow down. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, everybody's already voted. It's the consent agenda passes unanimous, and so now we move to new business. Madam Clerk, will you read item number 1 under new business in the record, please?
Appoint Paul Wright as Director of Parks and Recreation.
I present Paul Wright, who has been serving as our interim director for a little piece of time now, and I wish that that you would support making Paul the director effective January 1, 2024.
Move we approve.
Been properly motioned by Alderman Robert Griffin
Second.
and seconded by Alderman Brad King. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I ask that we just approve by unanimous consent. If we could do that. Can we do that without voting, just say unanimous consent or no? All right, can we do that unanimous consent?
I'm fine if.
Yeah.
All right.
So, what that means, Mr. Wright, if you will join me down front. I'd just like to say, before we do this, that it's been such a pleasure having Paul this past year fill in so many different roles, and he's filled a lot of buckets, lent a lot of helping hands, and signed up for a lot of duties that's well beyond your pay grade and what you needed to do. Paul's always been one of those individuals that he rises to the occasion and meets the need, and I just want to thank you for the past 12 months for filling in during a difficult time, and making this whole process seamless. And so I want to thank you for all your service as an assistant director and the interim director and whatever we called you in between January, right? Yeah, you in there. We are very excited tonight, and really anticipating 2024 in the future for our parks and rec system under your leadership. And so I don't think there's not a better way to close out the year is to making this appointment tonight. So tonight we will officially swear you in, taking effect January 1, as I said. So, ma'am, you've got the family Bible?
Yeah.
So raise your right, yeah, there you go. If you just repeat after me, I, Paul Wright,
I, Paul Wright,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Director of Parks
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Director of Parks
and Recreation
and Recreation
for the City of Bartlett, Tennessee,
for the City of Bartlett, Tennessee,
and I will uphold the Charter and ordinances of the City of Bartlett,
and I will uphold the Charter and ordinances of the City of Bartlett,
the Constitution,
the Constitution,
and the laws of the State of Tennessee
and the laws of the State of Tennessee
and the United States of America.
and United States of America.
I further swear
I further swear
that I shall perform my duties as Parks Director
that I shall fulfill my duties as Parks Director
and Recreation
and Recreation
without favor or partiality,
without favor or partiality,
and not affecting my personal consideration
and not affecting my personal consideration
of gain or conflict.
of gain or conflict.
This I do solemnly swear,
This I do solemnly swear.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, your new Parks Director. Button back up here. He's not complete without you, honey.
Do what?
So, Paul, is there anything you'd like? I don't know where the mic is. Let's see if we can get this Jesse on. Hello? Here we go.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board, for your vote of confidence. Thank you all for being here, especially my wife, my family, my coworkers, all my friends who are out here in the audience. I am excited for the future of where our department is going to go. We had an amazing foundation built by our previous administration, Shan Criswell, who served us faithfully for 36 years, David Thompson before her, Jesse Whittington, and so on down the line. And I don't take this charge lightly by any stretch. I'm excited for the future of where we're headed, and I look to faithfully serve you, the citizens of Bartlett, to provide everything that you want out of our great city. Thank you.
and I'll try to catch up with good-looking blondes. So we move to, Madam Clerk, will you read item number 2 under new business?
Announcement of annexation by consent.
Ms. Kim Taylor, Director of Economic and Planning.
This is a city-initiated request for annexation by property owner's consent for approximately 220 acres of land to be annexed into the city of Bartlett's jurisdiction. This will also include an annexation plan of services that will provide an estimate of the infrastructure costs for the property. There's a map on the monitor, and the areas that we're talking about is highlighted in the white portions of that map. In addition to the annexation and the plan of services, the city will be rezoning the properties from Shelby County CA Conservation Agricultural District to Bartlett's IO Warehouse and Wholesale District. We will also rezone the property in the hatched area. It's not highlighted in white. It is already part of the city of Bartlett's jurisdiction, but we will also be highlighting that particular parcel in IO as well, and that is also based on the owner's consent. The IO designation provides the largest category of industrial uses. Although we are required to rezone the property, again, this property is also being requested to be rezoned as IO by the property owner. The annexation and zoning will be in conformance with the current 2010 Master Plan of Uses for the City of Bartlett. And this Master Plan of Uses makes this area a large area for employment. We estimated, with the help of a consultant for this property, that it could house approximately a 2.6 million square foot building or a series of buildings with associated parking, and that would be on the next. There you go. This is just a preliminary conceptual layout of what the potential use of the property would look like. Once the property is in the city of Bartlett's jurisdiction, and with the potential of an option to purchase the property, it opens up the doors for grants, for monies to pay for the infrastructure costs for the development of these properties. Over the past year or so, the state of Tennessee Department of Economic Development has been asking for properties and looking for potential sites to build large business districts and industrial districts, and even many types of businesses that would need to do new builds to support the Blue Oval. Tonight, we are asking for a favorable vote to move forward with the annexation process, which will include a review and recommendation of the annexation and the annexation plan of services, along with the rezoning of the property from the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission will forward their recommendation back to this board, and a public hearing will be needed by this board at that time. Also, the next step would be for the rezoning of the property. That would have to be done by ordinance, which is another process, and that will require 2 public hearings, one by the Planning Commission and one by this board. This new process for annexation is outlined by the state of Tennessee, and we can no longer annex by ordinance or at will. Annexation has to be approved by referendum or by owner consent, and at this time, these properties are being brought to you by the owner's request and owner's consent of the annexation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. Been properly motioned by Alderman David Reeves and seconded by Alderman Brad King. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion. Madam Clerk, you're ahead of me. And the announcement passes by unanimous consent. Thank you, Ms. Taylor. We move to open discussion. We open the board up to the board first to any directors that have anything they wish to announce publicly.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and hopefully you have a very happy and prosperous new year and look forward to the new year coming.
Good. There was no directors wishing to come forward? Good. So I'd like to recognize Alderman King at this time.
I'd like to thank Mayor Parsons and Steve and this board. We won't meet again. This will finish our first year as a new alderman, and it has been a learning experience, and I appreciate all the support of this board and the mayor and Steve, and all the support staff here, from the clerks to IT to every director. There's not a director here that I probably hadn't visited with and spent time with to get information, being a new guy and green at everything, and I just want to thank everyone on behalf of the first year of taking office.
Thank you, Alderman King. Alderman Griffin, you're recognized.
I just want to congratulate Paul Wright on his directorship. It's my privilege to work with you on the Parks Commission, and I'm looking forward to the great things that you've got planned for the parks. And I'm excited to be able to be alongside you as we pull those things off for the city of Bartlett, and looking forward to great things ahead. And thank you to Mayor Parsons for making that nomination.
Thank you. Alderman Reeves.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. Congratulations. Appreciate all the work that you've done and you're going to continue to do. It'll be awesome for the city. Just a quick comment. So, Mayor, and I know we covered off on the next meetings, but on January 9th is the meeting for the hearing for managed services for the library and the Bartlett Recreation Center.
Yes,
So-
with that being said, if you're here tonight, it's not on the agenda. It's on the agenda January the 9th. But since you showed up tonight, you're more than welcome to come and speak in here just a minute when it comes your turn. We will limit comments to 20 minutes per resolution 21-23. So Alderman Reeves, was you finished?
Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to make sure that we covered off on that. When we do the hearing, how long will they have at the hearing? Similar, is it 20 minutes for both sides at the
Public
hearing?
hearing, yeah, 20 minutes both sides.
Okay.
3 minutes each individual.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, did I miss anybody? Ms. Monique?
Well, yeah, I'd like to say Merry Christmas to everyone and Happy New Year. Also, these last few months that I've had the opportunity to be on this wonderful board, I just wanted to say thank you all for taking a chance on me. It's been a wonderful experience. I've met a lot of people out here. Paul, when you first came up, I abstained because I didn't know when we were voting. I didn't get a chance to, I didn't know you. But I'm excited about what you're getting ready to do. I think you're going to do a wonderful job, and I'm glad that I could unanimously agree with everyone to say we're happy to have you on board as the director, and thank you so very much.
Paul, as I look out there, literally the future of Bartlett was in your hands. And so, Kevin,
I just want to say I'm happy that Alderman Williams got to know what a great person that Paul is. And we don't miss your way. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Have a lot of good things on the horizon for Bartlett, and thank you all for being here to participate in those. Thank you.
Okay, we went all the way around the circle, except for Steve. We want to hear Steve talk, don't we?
All right.
Come on, Steve.
Well, I'll keep it really quick because I'm not a politician. So, how about we stay with Merry Christmas, and I hope you all have a Happy New Year.
So, the mayor would like to say the same thing. Merry Christmas. Spend time with your family. Give mom and dad an extra hug this year, because you might not have them next year. But anyway, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish that, not only wish that, but we speak that blessing on you. So at this time, we'll move to the public hearing. Madam Clerk, will you read the citizen portion of
Open discussion.
the record, of open discussion in the record, please?
If a citizen completed the open discussion citizens forum prior to the start of the meeting, they may come forward to state their name and address for the record. The citizen will have up to 3 minutes, at which time a buzzer will sound and they must sit down. The total time limit for open discussion period is 20 minutes by resolution 21-23.
So if there's anybody wishing to come say anything about anything, come to the microphone and state your name and address for the record, please. Good, bad, or indifferent, or if you want to come tell us Merry Christmas. I'll just remind you, you have 3 minutes to speak, And at the 3 minutes, you'll be asked to sit down, and we will limit the total time spent on any of this discussion to 20 minutes. Madam, microphone is yours.
My name is Linda Booth. I live at 5701 Sleepy Woods Cove in Bartlett. Tonight I'm speaking to you as a citizen, a park user, a parent of a 15-year Parks employee who was also the Employee of the Year last year for the Parks Department, and as a Parks Advisory Board member. Number one, I'd like to speak about the why coming in potentially and taking over the rec center. The why employees may be required, the why may say that they're going to keep the full-time employees, but what is that going to do for all of the part-time employees at the rec center? My daughter's been there since July or August of 2020. She has no guarantee of having a job. She's been faithful to this city for 15 years as a part-time employee, and the problem is she wants to work for the city of Bartlett. If she wanted to work for the city of Bartlett, Memphis, she would have gone to Memphis. If she wanted to work for Lakeland, she would have gone to Lakeland. But she has chosen for 15 years to dedicate herself, much to my chagrin many times, but she wants to work for the city of Bartlett. She has no guarantee to stay at the rec center. Number two, there's no guarantee of employment for those employees, even at the wages that they're currently making, and that's not right. Number three, the money spent for the survey of the citizens for the master plan of Bartlett, we haven't even gotten those results yet, gentlemen and madam. We haven't gotten those results yet. I'm on the advisory board. Why are you trying to make a change to the rec center without even looking to see what your citizens want to have happen in this city to their current facilities? Number four, I have rented places before. I've been a landlord. If the roof goes out on the place that I own, guess who gets to replace the roof? Not the renters, the owner of the building. The owner of the building. The pump goes out at the rec center, guess who gets to pay for that? The owner of the building and the pump, not the citizens. Number four, an outdoor pool. I loathe the fact that I own an outdoor pool in my backyard. It's 40 by 20. I wanted a pool so badly for my kids to have some place to swim. And it's like taking $2,000 a year and just throwing it up in the air because the chemicals are so expensive. An outdoor pool has to be covered or you don't get to use it 6 months out of the year. It takes a week to put one of those covers over it, and it takes a week to take it off. And if it's over 17 miles an hour, then you don't get to use it at all. I have more to say, but it'll wait for January 9th. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I want to start with a question, and then
Please
I'll
state your
introduce
name
myself.
and,
I'm sorry?
Go ahead and state your name and address, please.
Tim Edwards, 9129 Anderton Springs Drive, Bartlett. If this were a Germantown City Council meeting, would a project like this, the Bartlett Rec Center being replaced by the YMCA, if it were a Germantown Alderman meeting, would this project have gotten this far? You can hold your answer. I know the answer. I lived in Germantown for a while. Again, my name's Tim Edwards. I've lived in Bartlett and Davies Plantation since before it was annexed. And I knew it was going to be annexed by Bartlett and gladly still moved there because I wanted to live in the city of Bartlett. We've lived in our home since 2005. It's been a great place to live and finish raising our 6 children. 2 of my children live 5 minutes from us in Bartlett. We have 5 grandchildren with those 2 children. They live in Bartlett. We used to live in Germantown, so we have a very real point of reference that I've shared with you already. The Bartlett Rec Center is part of the fabric of Bartlett. Just like the beautiful parks, the ball fields, the soccer fields, the lake, the Bartlett Performing Arts Center, and the wonderful police department. It is more than a few lines on an income statement or a balance sheet that might show a loss. And of course, since COVID has come around, lots of entities are showing losses. It's the daddy-daughter dance that's occurred for 9 years. My granddaughters participate in that every year. The Bartlett Rec Center is what realtors and the Chamber of Commerce talk about with pride as they share great things about the city of Bartlett and try to convince people and businesses to reside in Bartlett. I'm sorry, but the YMCA doesn't have the same effect on people when you say the name. I don't dislike the Y, but Bartlett is my city. It's where I have chosen to live, and I'm proud of that decision. Removing the Bartlett Rec Center from the fabric of Bartlett is not the answer. I take pride in driving past the Bartlett Performing Arts Center, the lake, the school, and the police department as I go to work out, typically Monday through Friday. Let me ask you another question. What does ATC Fitness, LA Fitness, Esporta, Lifetime Fitness, Planet Fitness, the Bartlett Recreation Center, and the Germantown Recreation Center all have in common? For us senior citizens, it's a little thing called silver sneakers. The YMCA does not honor silver sneakers at anywhere in the state of Tennessee. So every senior citizen that belongs to the Bartlett Rec Center whose tuition is, or whose membership is paid,
Your time has expired,
is
sir.
out. Thank you.
My name is Mackenzie Eichner, 7675 Barker Woods Road, Bartlett, Tennessee. I have been a City of Bartlett employee at the Rec Center for coming up on 3 years. I have worked multiple positions, including front desk, gym game, swim instructor, and lifeguard. The Recreation Center has been a huge part of my life for all of these years. I have met so many lifelong friends through this job, and this job has ultimately given me a sense of belonging in my community as a Bartlett resident. Over the years, the Rec Center has become a safe space for me. I know that when I walk into the building, I will be greeted by familiar and friendly faces. I will go into work with my coworkers that I have gotten to know and love. I will walk into my organized exercise class to see the same 15 ladies that show up every night, every week. I understand that the Rec Center is not accumulating as much money as anyone would like to see, but this center was never established to be a highly profitable establishment. It was made to serve the community and welcome a place for everybody. With proper management, like an assistant aquatics manager that we have not had in months, and a plan in action to bring the center out of the red, the Rec Center could flourish. Seeing the amount of money lost can be discouraging, but I don't think it's fair to not only the staff, but also the members that pay monthly to enjoy the several amenities that are offered through the Rec Center. By bringing the YMCA in, it could cost the members much more money yearly, and the staff would most likely be out of a job that they have come to love. My family and I have been customers at multiple different gyms like French Riviera Spa, ATC, and even the YMCA. And I have never seen the same sense of community that I see day in and day out at the Bartlett Recreation Center. With all of that being said, I do not personally think this is a good decision on the city's part from a customer and employee standpoint. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Sanders, 6160 Calico, Bartlett, Tennessee. I could never imagine growing up without the Bartlett Recreation Center. The only way my summers have been counted is by the rec. Before me and my family had a pool of our own, we would regularly attend the BRC as a fun, active area to spend time together. When the splash pad opened, even more so. This is the case for so many families, and while many Bartlett residents could choose to go elsewhere, such as a central chain gym, they don't. These families choose the rec, and for a reason. The Bartlett Recreation Center is nothing short of a community. It's a Bartlett staple, inside and out. This building creates a strong community of civilians which know and love one another, all created by the rec. I'm not the only one here who has met their lifelong friends, became immersed in a sport which has developed who I am, and found where I would work my first job. I would not have continued my path at the Recreation Center if it was not for what it is today. The rec is welcoming and inviting, every patron greeted with a smile, hello, and how are you? Front desk workers who willingly take part in conversations they don't have to, but do because they deeply care about their neighbors around them. lifeguards like me, who have been given a sense of purpose, working, caring, and watching for each individual patron that walks into the aquatics area. On days where I struggle to walk into work, my coworkers around me take interest in my life, apart from the rec, just as a Bartlett civilian, and make me feel home. One of my favorite parts of my shift is when my manager and I talk about our days. Each of us trying to come up with a word that goes with the beginning letter of the day, alliteration. That small part of my day makes me smile. Many managers wouldn't take the time to do such a silly little thing to show they care about their staff. My managers here care for me and all the other youth here like parents and strive to help grow and teach us into greater productive members of society. When I found out the closing of the rec was up for discussion, I was in my dual enrollment English class. Right then and there, I felt my heart sink to my stomach, as I know it did for many others. When I think of the safe space the Bartlett Rec has created for those so close to me, people as young as high schoolers, who have dedicated countless hours to the safety of patrons in the weight room, basketball courts, and pool, the loss of the rec center is so great. Even between 6 clubs, 2 sports, 7 classes, and a job, I still manage to find myself at the BRC in my spare time, because the BRC isn't just my job, it's my gym, my social outlet, and a home. I hope to watch my siblings 9 and 12 years younger than me grow up to continue loving and utilizing the rec center, as I do, to learn what it means to feel safe and be a part of an uplifting community that doesn't just stop outside the gym walls. The Bartlett Rec Center offers so many opportunities for those as young as infants to well into retirement. While the ideas and blueprints of the YMCA are bringing to the table may seem lovely and grand, I do not think it's worth giving up the family the BRC has established. Thinking of a huge gym coming in and disrupting the peace of the rec center has worked so hard for over 20 years creating is gut-wrenching. I stand with the Bartlett Rec Center and believe that it is worth giving another chance. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Donna Balcom, 7241 3rd Road. I'm a water aerobics instructor at Bartlett Rec Center. Hopefully, I'll still be one in January. BRC was one reason we came to Bartlett. We could have joined the Y at any time, but didn't. The rec center had a small town feel with great members, mainly from Bartlett. I'd like it to stay that way. We weren't looking for a before and after school care. We weren't looking for lazy rivers or big outdoor pools, nor is that what we're looking for now. The whole idea was thrown on us, the members of at the last minute, with no time to prepare. 4 weeks from the start last week until the vote on January 9th. A lot of members didn't know anything about it till today at potluck. Most of my 40 or so water aerobics participants are seniors on Social Security. I don't believe this is a good fit for any of us as seniors. The area-wise only take 2 insurance programs, Renew and Silver Fit. Without insurance, many of my people can't afford the increase. The price of the surrounding Ys are more than double what BRC is. Even with a 17% increase, it's still much less than the Y prices. They say the prices won't increase, but we all know eventually they will. I don't believe this is the best for any of us. If you want big and glamorous, lazy rivers, big outdoor pools, consider a country club, not the Bartlett Rec Center. Thank you for your time. Please keep the Bartlett Rec Center the Rec Center.
Thank you.
My name is Beverly Radford. I live at 6090 Elmore Road. I'm speaking on behalf of several of my senior friends. I've lived in Bartlett for 53 years. My family joined the rec center shortly after it opened. My senior friends and I regard the rec center as more than just a place for recreation. We've created new friendships, we have conversation and coffee, and we do exercise regularly. It's a place where we go and feel like we're a part of the Bartlett community. We're connected there. For us, it is more than just a recreational area. Just as the city funds the police department and the fire department and education and does an excellent job of it, we feel like that all the citizens of Bartlett are due to have recreation funded. And for most of us senior citizens, we're living on a fixed income. And our greatest concern is that a new entity cannot come in and offer us all of these additional amenities and provide us with the services we have now without raising the cost. And for many of us, this would be difficult. But also now, everyone there knows everyone. Everyone is very considerate. The staff really cares whether or not you're there. And I don't feel like if we go with a YMCA, we'll have that same feeling. I would like for Bartlett to keep the small town feeling that I've enjoyed for the 53 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nick Brimhall, live at 9221 Hillman Way Drive with my wife and 4 kids. I just wanted to speak to the Bartlett Rec Center and the library, and we chose to move to Bartlett because it's really a well-run city. We love living in Bartlett, and we love the amenities here, and some of the great things going for Bartlett are the Bartlett Rec Center and the library. You know, I would hate to see those things change. If the YMCA wants to take it over, they're not coming in here to lose money. They're gonna make changes, I guess, just they'll drastically raise how much it costs to go there and be a member. If costs have gone up a lot, maybe the rec center needs to raise rates a little bit, but I don't think that we would need to be anywhere near the cost that YMCA's are. And also I'd be afraid of some of the changes they might make. My daughter's very active in the swim team. Other YMCA's have kind of shuffled off their swim team to other swim team clubs in town, and they're not the same. And then also so I would just hate to see that change. We do a great job with it. I would like to see Bartlett still control it. And just speak to the library real quick. My wife and kids use the library all the time. They love the way it currently functions. She would hate to see it to change. Right now, it's not a real big building. If there's a book that she wants that's not in there, but being part of the Memphis library system makes it very easy for her to get other books, and it works great. So that's really all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Ariel Wilkes, and my address is 639.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Did you complete a form prior to the start of the meeting?
No.
Okay, we will go to the one that, have you completed a form? If there's time afterward, you have to complete a form prior to speaking.
Where's the form?
In the lobby out front.
I'll go slow for you. My name is Brian Edwards, 3401 Alfred Drive. I grew up in Bartlett and Germantown. Purchased my second home in Bartlett in 2016. Purchased a commercial property in Bartlett right across the street in 2019 and run my restaurant technology company out of Bartlett. And I've been a member of the Bartlett Rec Center. I've taken my 2 kids to the splash pad. Really enjoy that. Just signed up today for the daddy-daughter dance for next year. Really excited about that. It's my daughter's favorite thing. I think maybe more than Christmas is the daddy-daughter dance because of the candy bar. And, you know, I called today to sign up, and the gal who answered the phone, today was the first sign-up day, and the gal that answered the phone didn't know how to sign me up. And she looked into it, and she called me back 10 minutes later and helped me sign up. That's customer service you're not going to get from the Y. I did a little research and looked up some reviews of the Y in Cordova, and they were not very good. Bad customer service, car break-ins, and so on, and that's not what we want for Bartlett. It's just not. You know, we're going to have less collaboration from David with Parks and Rec and the Y for things like the daddy-daughter dance. That may stay for a little while, but it's eventually probably going to go away. And we want things like that to stay. If you have to raise the fees a little bit, raise the fees. The daddy-daughter dance was $55. I mean, that's really cheap for what you get. Charge $75. I feel like there's a way to make it work, and it would be great if you guys can all, and ma'am, can all figure it out. Thank you.
Thank you.
The 20-minute timer is up.
I'll let you speak, ma'am. State your name and address for the record.
Ariel Wilkes,
This will be the last one, though.
Okay, 6394 West Forked River Cove. I've lived in Bartlett since I was 2 years old. I'm 21 years old now. And even as I'm going off to the Navy, I plan on coming back because of how I love this city and how it is. I've worked with Bartlett Rec for a year now. And before, I worked with Memphis for 5 years. And comparing 5 years to this 1 year, I would pick here over there. If I wanted to work for a place that seems like it has no care for its residents or how their price points are, things like that, then I would have stayed with them. But I came to Bartlett because of how it feels, the hominess, the small townness, and the ability to make friends with the patrons, my coworkers. You can ask them back there. When I first came, I would not have been doing this. They've opened me up more than my other job ever has. I've been to different YMCAs with swim teams and stuff. Even then, they have people come in there, the employees there seem like they don't care, and I don't want to see that happen to Bartlett. Bartlett seems like they care about their patrons, their employees, their staffs. I don't know anyone else who would have potlucks with patrons, members, and just overall nice and loving. I don't know anyone else who would do that. So if you change it to the Y, I don't know how many people will stay, but I won't be one that's working if you change to the Y. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the business for the board meeting at this time. Meeting adjourned.